Sorry. It's just these.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
Sorry, I'm gonna try and make a bigger one, but.
No worries.
Okay.
We live, right?
Yeah, you're live.
How you guys doing? As you guys know, my name is Carlos Reynoso here from FFL Life Tri-State. Welcome to the weekly bullpen meeting where we talk about some of the stuff that impacts the agents and the agencies and bring awareness to all the subjects that may interest the agents and how to prosper. As we always do, let's start with the numbers. Top 20 writing agents. Number 20, Joanna Perez. Number 19, Jesse Parley. Let me see. Joanna Perez, 5,259. Jesse, 5,525. Stephanie Cover, 5,858. Linda Regis, 6,482. Jose Graxirena, 6,726. Stephen Plur, 6,981. Jason Williams, 733. Garrett Duet, 7,472. Robert Richmond, $8,002. Sean Barnes, 8,756. Shaney Joseph, 8,861. John, they are small. They are super small.
Wow.
Pietro Okrasa, 9,184. Thank you. Yes.
That's big enough.
Yes, that's better. Way better. Way better. I already mentioned Pietro. Michael Huveline, 9,334. Caleb Amoros, 11,300. Now that I can see the number, let's start again because that was week to date. I'm sorry. Let's do a month to date. So number 20, Paris Joanna, 17,684. Number 19, Jesse Parsley, 20,932. Stephanie Cover, 25,272. Stephanie, that's good. Good job. Linda Regis, 11,226. Jose Graxirena, 38,304. Jose killing the game. Stephen Plur, 20,738. Jason William, 10,636. Garrett Dewitt, 18,528. Wow. Robert Richmond, 39,962. Sean Barnes, 22,796. Shaney Joseph, 14,635. Pietro Okrasa, 17,038. Caleb Ambrose, 35,880. Wayne Carr, 44,455. Kyrie Jonah, my boy Kyrie, 38,102. Jeffrey Leone, 19,656. David Pyle, 15,240. Steven Giordano, 78,043. And JP, 124,990. Wow. I'm gonna do the top agencies now. Top agencies are Primera Thompson, Dynasty, 37,637. Francis Doherty, FFL Shoreline, 52,040. Congratulations, Frank. David Pyle, FFL Great Lakes, 57,921. Dave, nice meeting you on Boca, man. Great. Alex Lebrija, FFL Third Coast, 69,161. Jeff Boothie, FFL The Good Life, 69,294. Daniel Byrne, FFL Legacy, 78,729. Mark Tiroli, FFL The Chosen Ones, 85,585. Stephanie Cover, FFL Insurance Trust, 85,852. Jesse Parsley, FFL Avenues, 95,658. Your faithful servant here, Carlos Reynoso, FFL Wisdom, Strength, and Beauty, 96,022. Thank you. Michael Lower, FFL Pay It Forward, 86,688. Jose Graxirena, FFL Momentum, 100,241. Great job, Jose. Gabriel Singh, FFL The Way, 110,564. Cindy City, FFL Service Before Self, 174,611. Kyrie Joyner, FFL Humble Beginnings, 174,721. JP, Jonathan Porcina, FFL Loyalty, 183,612. Wayne Carr, FFL Hidden Gems, 209,977. Caleb Amoros, FFL 320, 217,021. Nice. Stephen Giordano, FFL Health and Wealth, 272,316. Rob Richmond, FFL Apex, 524,346. Brian Mendehall, FFL Central, 740,262. And Ivan Bedrov, FFL Universe, 1,109,602. Wow, it's insane. I met Ivan, great guy, man. Cool guy. Well, let's talk about some stuff this week. We're gonna talk about, we're coming into, I'm gonna do it in a little bit. We're coming to a time that is like at the beginning of the year where COVID hits and a lot of people don't want you to be, go to their homes. We're gonna talk about the phone scripts. We're gonna talk about how to close to call, how to do sales over the phone as well. We're gonna touch a little bit on that. We're gonna talk about IULs. We're gonna talk about internet leads, and we're gonna talk about whatever questions you guys may have. Going to bring up James Vines. James, come on. So, Jim is very good on the phone, and he has a script that you guys may want to hear. Give the people options. We have a lot of older people that they don't know how to use Zoom or whatever form of video type that you use. So he's going to tell you what how he called the clients and what he uses. Okay, go ahead.
So before I do that, I just want to thank Carlos because the training here is so eclectic. I took some of your phone's script, I took some of John's, I took some of Alvin's, I took some of Matt Smith's, and it's all eclectic.
Correct.
So basically, when I call, it's kind of like this. You want to role play with me real quick, Carlos?
Okay, go ahead.
Ring.
Hello,
Carlos.
Yes.
Carlos, this is James Vines getting back to you about the mortgage protection payment program form that you filled out and mailed back into our office. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Can you remind me again? What was it again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the mortgage, you filled out a form for mortgage payment protection. Basically, if you passed away or became disabled, this will pay off the mortgage balance I see here for $230,000.
Okay, yes. I just got a whole bunch of them, so I guess I sent it back. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Again, my job is just to go over the information with you, figure out what you can qualify for. And I see here that you put down your spouse is the age of 32 and you're 35. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. And these are all non-medical programs, Carlos, meaning a doctor doesn't have to come out, stick you with the needle, do any blood or urine samples. They basically have me do two things. One, verify that you're not on hospice, and two, verify that you're not on a respirator. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And because of COVID, a lot of people don't feel comfortable with us coming inside their home. So what I can do for you, I can either do a FaceTime meeting, a WhatsApp meeting or a Zoom meeting if you don't feel comfortable with me coming inside your home.
Okay.
But what time are you and your wife typically home together?
Around 6.
Around 6. Carlos, I don't have anything for 6, but what I can do for you, I can squeeze you in about 7 p.m. Any reason that wouldn't work for you and your wife?
No, that'll work fine.
Okay, perfect. And does FaceTime, Zoom, or WhatsApp work best for you?
FaceTime. I don't know how to use Zoom or any other one, so FaceTime is good.
Okay, perfect. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my contact information and my credentials. Just do me a favor, grab a pen so I can give that information to you.
Perfect. Okay.
Give my information, tie down the appointment, and then I also send a text confirmation if I'm doing a Zoom or even if I'm just doing it in person.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it. John, you want to come up and touch on that? We have different agents. We have different styles. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's right. It's just so you guys can take from different perspective. Okay. So, John, go ahead. You want to touch.
As far as
The phone script and that people that don't want to let you into the house and you got to.
yeah, I actually
Go ahead.
don't offer phone at first.
Okay. Perfect.
I'll just go through the normal script. Hey, Carlos,
Yes,
John Mazzella here from the Mortgage Benefit Center. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Great, glad to hear that. Listen, I'm giving you a call in regards to this information you had sent over to your mortgage company, TD Bank. I see here you were looking for mortgage insurance against your loan of $220,000.
Yes, correct.
Great, just need to verify some information. I've been assigned as your case manager. So I have the property address as 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Yes, it is. Perfect. Yes.
Great, and I have your date of birth is 7/10/69.
Correct.
Okay, I also have a co-borrower date of birth, 7/10/69, that correct?
Correct.
All right, and the mortgage amount is $220,000.
Correct.
Great. Once again, my name is John Mazzella. I've been assigned as your case manager. My job is very simple, just to get this information out to you to see what you qualify for based on some medical questions.
Okay.
At that time, I'll let you know how much it would be, give you some different options,
Okay. So you can tell me no prices now.
and answer, and I
Okay.
know nothing about you, and answer any questions that you may have.
Okay.
So I have some availability tomorrow and Wednesday because they actually have me in your area. Actually, if I look at the city that he's in, so if he's in Tom's River, I'll pick the next city, like the next town.
I got you.
They got me in Brick tomorrow and Wednesday. What time do you normally get home from work?
Oh, you're actually coming to my house.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm going to have to pass on that.
Why is that?
I just, with COVID going on, I just don't feel comfortable. with
Okay,
anybody
totally
coming.
understand. I mean, I do hear that a lot. The carriers want us agents to come out and sit down with you face to face, just to make sure you are who you are, just to
Okay.
make sure you are who you are,
Okay.
just to make sure that you are Carlos Renasso.
Okay.
That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. You good.
I didn't do it the Spanish way. I did it the American way. It's all good.
No, you're good, brother. You're good.
Just to make sure that you are who you are, and
Okay.
just to make sure you're not on oxygen or in a wheelchair.
Okay.
So what we can do is one of two things.
Okay.
I could either come to your home, you could show me your ID through your storm door. I'll show you my license and my banking license. I could go sit in the car, call you. We could do an interview
Okay.
from the parking lot,
Okay.
or we could either set up a phone conference within the next couple of days. Like if I know I'm on the field Tuesday,
Uh-huh.
I'm not doing a phone conference for Tuesday. I'll do it for Wednesday or maybe Thursday,
I got
since Thursday's my call day.
Okay.
We could set up a call for Thursday, either FaceTime or Zoom. Are you familiar with Zoom? Have you used it before?
I am familiar with Zoom, and I feel actually more comfortable with a phone interview like that.
Awesome. All right, so what I'll do is I'll set you up for Thursday. I have some availability in the morning, in the afternoon. I'm pretty flexible because that's my phone day. Do you work? Do you have any doctor's appointments depending on his age? What time do you normally get home? What time is good for you?
Get off from work around 4:30, so I'll be home by 5.
All right, I'll give you some time to settle in. How does 6 o'clock work for you?
Perfect.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pencil you in for 6 o'clock. Expect a phone call. It's probably gonna come from my cell phone that I'm using now.
Okay.
Because sometimes if I call from a home,
Mhm.
I use a Jersey number. If I call from my
got
cell,
you.
it's a New York number.
I got you.
And I'll just break it down that way, and then I'll just tell them, hey, just write down my name, write down my phone number,
Okay.
And, you know, the only thing I'm gonna need from you is a list of your medications,
Okay.
and that'll give me an idea of what you would qualify for.
Great.
That's how I go.
Great. There you go. Is there? Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Is there any questions on selling over the phone? Go ahead.
If you decide to do everything over the phone, how are you getting the signatures?
Email.
Email. A lot of carriers send them a code and they can sign it it's kind of like a DocuSign type of thing.
Okay. Well, has anyone ever had,
I've done it before.
has it been like a smooth transition?
Yes.
Smooth transaction. Yeah. Yeah. They have to be in front of a computer, obviously.
Yeah.
You know. Any other questions?
Just want to touch on that.
Go ahead. Absolutely. John, if you want to pitch on that too, okay?
Do you obviously go out on appointments, right?
Yeah.
Do you do PayPap or e-apps?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Well, no, I just figured because if we're now doing it over the phone, they don't mind signing on my computer. So.
Gotcha, I misunderstood, I'm sorry. Yes, what'll happen is you'll get their email address. It depends on what you're doing. If you're doing Eagle, if you're doing Amerigo,
Right.
the way I do it with Amerigo is a little bit different than Moo. Because Moo takes you through the whole process before they let you know whether you're a yay or a nay.
Right.
Correct.
When it comes to Eagle, what I do is, or HMS, I'll say, all right, I just need some information from you now. The only major thing I'm gonna need from you now is your social. That's gonna determine how much insurance you qualify for, because we're gonna check your MIB. And at this time, I pretty much have an idea of what their health is like. And then if you do, and then what I'll do is I'll send you an email, and they'll give you an access code, which is usually the last four of your social. And they'll have to sign it off that way. And then you get the notification instantaneously once they sign it.
Okay.
And then as you, just like the regular e-app, you'll know within a minute. And then you'll say, you know, as you're going through the medical questions, you just let them know, all right, I'll have a decision for you within the next couple of seconds, count to 20 or something, you know, count to 20 and I should have an answer for you. But yeah, that's what usually happens. And then the way I say it is, all I need is your social now. If you do get approved, then I'm gonna need all your other information, like your beneficiaries and your banking information and stuff like that.
Okay.
But at least now, but yes, they do give you an access code.
Okay.
There you go.
Same thing with Mo.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Question.
Go ahead.
So in a case where they don't want to use Zoom or they don't have WhatsApp or Facebook, they're not familiar with that technology.
FaceTime.
FaceTime, right? They're not familiar with that technology. Then you would just have to go to their house, look at their ID. They're not letting you in, you just look at their ID to make sure.
Get through the window or the door.
From your
Yeah,
car.
correct. And give them a call from the car.
Okay.
Correct. And I've done that too.
Okay.
Any questions? Any other questions?
No.
Nobody? Let me see. I learned from a couple of my friends that have been doing a phone closing. The first time you call a client, try to call to close, try to get them right there and then. And if you cannot get them there and then because whatever reason they might be at work, they might be doing something, try to book an appointment so you can have that phone interview later on, okay? Don't go on that, I have your number, I'm gonna call you later when I'm available. The call might never come. That's just reality. So try to close it right there when you call them, okay? Tell them, listen, I just have to complete the medical questionnaire, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Do you have that time now? They tell you yes, great. And I mean, if not, then try to set an appointment for a later date or whatever. I like John's idea about making those phone interviews for your dial days, because you're here, you're dialing anyways, okay? And so you have time, you're not on the field, wasting time. Let me see, somebody had a question. Oh, yes, Stephen. There you go. There you go. Any other questions? The question. Okay. Let's talk about internet leads. Times are changing. Way back when dinosaurs ruled the earth, people used to door knock. Insurance guy used to door knock a lot, and they used to get, listen, I'm going to bring you and give me a list of 100 people that you know, et cetera, and that's how they used to do business. Then came mail, and they used to send, we still do, they used to send forms to the people, and people used to send it back. And then came the millennials. They don't know what a mailbox is. They just do not. They have, all these cool gadgets and phones. So mail is becoming a thing of the past. You know what I mean? When was the last time any of you bought a stamp to send something? I don't remember. You know what I mean? Right? Correct?
Yeah.
So we have internet leads. They are cheap, affordable, and for what I'm getting, they are just awesome. People are making a lot of sales on them, so you may want to try them. I'm not trying to, push those on anybody, but try them. They are awesome. They work fantastic. I know a lot of agents that have tried it and it worked perfect. Who has tried them here and worked for them? Want to talk about yes on that? Have you tried it, John? And they work for you fine? Okay, perfect. No, go ahead.
Okay. So with the internet life leads, you just the new internet life leads, or just regular internet life leads? Which one? Because I've tried both.
The new ones.
Phenomenal, to be honest with you.
Okay.
People on Facebook, they'll see the result. But for me personally, for every $1,000 I'm investing in the instant internet life leads, I'm paying $4,000. So I'm seeing a $3,000 return. What I found is that you gotta treat it like a business. It's volume based.
Correct.
A lot of these people, they're filling out multiple forms online. They have multiple people calling them. So
correct.
As soon as you get them in, dial them.
Correct.
And when you dial them, you want to treat them like John. Hey, do you miss me? You want to make sure that you're speaking to them in a way that not everybody else is calling them.
Okay.
And make sure that your comebacks, if they have an objection, is a point. So if they say I already filled it out, good. I'm pretty sure you filled out multiple. John even gave me a tip with this that actually helped is, ask them about the price.
Okay.
Bring that up. Or, if they say, I already have insurance. Good, I'm glad you believe in the product. My job is to go over with you because you did put in a request. What were you thinking about? Was it COVID? And then they're going to start talking to you. So,
okay.
Again, invest a lot in the business. If you're going to, don't play to lose. I believe Sean Mike was talking about that a little while ago. If you're going to invest in the lead type, give yourself at least 50 to 100 leads, put the work in, dial them, and don't be scared to actually have a conversation with them.
Okay, perfect, man. Thanks, appreciate it. People, when it comes to internet leads, out of 20, you're going to probably sell 2 or 3. That's reality, okay? But are you going to make your money back? Absolutely. It's a numbers game with the internet leads, but everything is going that way. I do a lot of mail leads, and I noticed that the volume is decreasing as time goes by. So give them a try. Put an effort. We have a ton of them. They are really available. They are, like I said, cheap. They always have sales on them. So give them a try. John, you want to touch a little bit on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Have you tried it, John? No? Gotcha.
Yeah, with the internet leads, and I learned this from my past experience, but I reached out to Ivan one day. Got to keep it simple, man. A lot of people like to talk when people answer their phone because they're so excited they're answering the phone. I'm just like, hey, Carlos, this is John Mazzella. I'm giving you a call in regards to some information you were requesting online for life insurance. Just shut up. Oh, yeah, it's either gonna go, oh, yeah, or I took care of it.
Correct.
I took care of it already. Okay, great. Let me ask you a question.
Here it comes. I like
If we
this.
could save you a couple of dollars a
There
month,
you go.
are you open-minded to us coming out to see if we could save you a few dollars? Anybody in their right mind would say no to, yeah, no problem. But there are people that are just like, nah, I'm good. But for the most part, I don't want to mention any names, any carrier names. If you should know by now as underwriters what the premiums are, who's got the best premiums.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
You should know.
Correct.
So if somebody tells you they got this company and you work with this company, you're going to save them $15, $25 a month.
Correct.
So my question is, if I could save you a few dollars a month, would you be open-minded to having somebody come out and see if we could do that for you? If we can't save you money, ma'am, we're not going to press you because it's against the rules and regulations of the banking industry and insurance industry to sell you something that's not in your favor.
Correct.
So it's just a no-brainer. As far as the internet leads, it's going to go one of two ways. Either yes, okay. And once they say yes, just go right through it. Great. I have your date of birth. I have your address. I have this. Most of those policies are for final expense.
Okay.
So after I verify the information, I don't go for the appointment.
Gotcha.
I try to get a little bit personal with the person. So I don't see here whether you use any form of tobacco. Do you smoke? No, I don't. Okay, great. And how much insurance were you looking for? Was this something for final expense, or were you trying to make your kids rich when you pass away? And if it's for final expense, I'll say, do you plan on being cremated or buried?
Okay.
You just try to get some information. Okay, great. Got the information. Awesome. I'll actually be in your area, and then you go into trying to set the appointment as far as doing it in person. So it could either go, one of two ways, especially on the newer internet leads. They're more receptive. The older ones, they've already gotten 1,700 phone calls before you, and they're already aggravated. But like Carlos said, if you buy 20 leads, it's, you may get 2 or 3 depending on your phone script. So it's imperative that you get to an office every Monday and Thursday, like everybody here, because you're going to learn a lot.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it, man. So we're going into sales over the phone, doing videos, et cetera, et cetera. We're not saying to go that route. We are just saying that if anything else fail, the person don't want to see you in their home, then we go that route. But one-on-one interaction, that's the way to go always. Will you agree with that, John?
Yes.
One-on-one,
Yes.
person to person. That's what we push for. That we're talking about for those for that little 1% that just don't want anybody in the house because they are freaked out, and then is it try to do a video, or you're going to lose the sale? So at least try to salvage the sale with a video. But person to person is where we go to. We're going to do some numbers now, and then we're going to go into other trainings here. Every week we do numbers. The first part is the name of the agent. And the reason we do numbers is not to bash anybody, it's just to learn. About the field a little more. We go appointments, we go sit, close, how many applications, how many clients you close, and applications, how many applications you did. Sometimes the apps is higher than the close, because in a house you could have closed husband, wife, kids, whatever the case may be. And then the premium here, okay? So let's start with me. 13. 6 sits, 4 closed, 4 application, 3,959. Last week, I said that there was a discrepancy here if a lot of people don't show up. Might be, and I already found what my fault was, so I'm definitely working on that. We always touching that as an agent, you are an ever evolving work. There's not an agent that knows everything. There's not an agent that is, fully agent up per se. So you're always learning. I saw myself that I gotten way too comfortable. I was making, $10,000, $15,000 sales a week. So I had to figure it out. I was super agent. Wrong. You have to always attack it like when you're starting, always hungry, always, always knowing more, and always, that's why we push the office, because, you're always learning from the agents around you. And if you have any questions, I'll be like, listen, John, man, I was killing it. A couple of weeks ago, and suddenly, man, nobody want to talk to me. Okay, Carlos, what's up? Pitch me, man. What is it? Okay, this is wrong, et cetera, et cetera. Come to the office. No distractions here. We're going to help you out. Unlimited training, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. James Bond, 8/4/2008-51. Stephen P. 14/9/6/7/7,075. Congratulations, Stephen. Noah D. 10/5/3/3/4,279. Ibalu 21/11/7/7/5. This is where I was saying last week that happened to me. If you get this, and this is not to put anybody down, this is just to learn, just so we can learn. If you have this discrepancy here, we got to work on our front script. Yeah, there's something we're not consolidating that we are not making a bulletproof. There's something wrong with the script here, because like John's always mentioned, if I just move to a brand new house and I'm putting cable, and the cable guy tells me, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit late, or I'm going to go at this time, I'm going to be there, and if you're going to be late, I'll be late with you, but I'll be there too. You know what I mean? So there's something here that we're not doing right. Whatever it is, I don't know, but just work on it. Try to come to the office. You can get in touch with me. You can get in touch with John. So we could see, so we could help you. Pete O. 5/2/2/3,264. Carlos 3/2/2/4/536. This. I mean, you're always going to have that client that's just not going to show up. Got it. But when it's a discrepancy about 5, 6, 7 up, then there's something that at the script you didn't make it seem that was that much important for them as well. I'm going to congratulate the new writers as well. First time writers. I'm going to start with that. With the team, Wisdom, Strength, and Beauty, of course, Xiomara Torres, first time writer, Xiomara. John D, Charles C, Francine F, Antonio K, Crystal P, Ryan B, Chris F, Akima M, Christopher J, Joshua B, Omar T, Andrew B, Jared P, Raquel M, Douglas N, Tiffany D, Eduardo P, Carinson W, Marietta S. I gotten very familiar with IUL, and John here, my compadre, he's very good as well. He writes a ton of them. So we're going to touch up a little bit on that. And if you guys got any questions, I've gotten tons of phone calls, people asking me about it. It's not hard at all. It's another product. IUL, whoever don't know, stands for Index Universal Life. And it's confusing. we use that, they use the S&P 500, that's why the index, as a guide, for, what's the word that I'm looking for, John? They use the S&P 500 as a
Well,
guide.
that's why they get the interest rates.
The interest rate, there you go,
That's why they get the interest rates.
That's what I was looking for. They use the S&P 500 as a guide for the interest rate that you're gonna accumulate, the cash value you're gonna accumulate over the years. First misconception: your money goes into the stock market. No, it does not. It does not. It's an index universal life, but it does not. They just use it as a guide. They use the S&P 500 as a guide. If the S&P 500, let's say, it goes up, I'm just throwing numbers here just to keep it simple. 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever percent, that's how much your money is going to go up. Okay? Is it actually goes in the S&P 500? No, it does not. Can I borrow against my death benefit? No, you cannot. You can borrow against the cash value that you accumulated. Okay. When can I borrow against my cash value? Well, you have to have it there for 15 years. After 15 years, you can borrow with no penalty, or use your cash value with no penalty. If you do before that, you do get penalized. You get a penalty. You get it? John, come on.
Wait, you want to start from the beginning?
From the beginning, let's go.
Yeah, the way I sell the IULs is very simple.
Mhm.
It's a whole life policy on steroids,
Yes.
period. Everybody knows what a whole life policy is.
Mhm.
I don't like to dissect it. I just tell people it's a whole life policy that's going to build cash value. Right now, you're getting 5.92% interest. The cap is 15%. The low end is 0. But it's always going to fluctuate. But it doesn't fluctuate on a week-to-week basis where it's all over the place. It's pretty consistent. As far as a lot of questions that I do get from agents about IULs is, oh, I was looking at an IUL with Mutual of Omaha and it only goes up to 70, age 70. Not true. When you're filling out the app, there's a part underneath the indexed universal life where it's easy fix.
Correct.
Easy solve.
Easy solve.
Easy solve, thank
Easy
you.
solve, yeah.
Easy solve and not easy solve. The way I was explained it is by checking easy solve, the underwriters at Mutual of Omaha, know that it's going to go to age 121 and it's never going to expire.
Correct.
So the way I sell it, rather than getting all this confused, is it's a whole life policy. It's going to go to age 121. It's going to build a tremendous amount of cash value. As long as you don't touch the cash value,
Correct.
you're good. If you're going to use the cash value, don't take all of it out. Like I make
Correct.
a joke out of everything. I
Correct.
say, as us Italians say, don't be a gavone and take all the cash out. Take all the cash out.
Okay.
Leave some cash in there because there's this thing called cost of insurance, which goes up every year. And if you deplete your cash value, the cost of insurance is going to make you either lose some debt benefit, or you're going to have to raise your rates and premiums, which you don't want to do. So everything that I just said, forget about. The way you sell it is, it's a whole life policy. It's going to go to age 121. You're going to build a tremendous amount of cash value. Don't touch all your cash value. If you're going to use it in 20, 30 years, just take half of it out. At least leave half in there. Don't take all your cash value out. There was another thing that you had mentioned that I wanted to touch on that I forgot.
What's that about?
Because I always give everybody an option, you know, do you want a term with your money back in 30 years if you qualify? Like I notice a lot of my mortgage leads,
Mhm.
people are now in their 50s and 60s.
Correct.
Because everybody and their mothers are refinancing.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a lot of, so it's hard for me to sell somebody an HMS at age 60, 65, when I could just give them a straight up.
Gotcha.
But I will say, they're a little bit on the strict side
Gotcha.
with the IULs where,
One thing that I wanted to touch on is a question that a lot of the clients ask. Am I going to get 2%, 5%, whatever percent increase on the amount of the policy? The answer is not. You accumulate cash value after 2 years, and whatever the market did, then that's what you're going to get, and then you're going to increase on that cash that you already have. Make sense? Did I explain myself?
yes.
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
I think it's longer than 2 years. I think it's like 4 years.
It's not. Well, mutually it's 2 after 2 years.
You start building?
Yeah, you start building. You start building.
Also, Global Atlantic has that.
Correct. So you don't gonna get you're not gonna go off 5% of your death benefit. Like if you got 50,000, you're not gonna go off 5% of those 50,000. No, you accumulate that cash value in 2 years, and then after that, then you go up based on that cash that you had in the policy. Can you pay the policy with the cash value you accumulated? Yes, if they go to your bank and they try to draft the money and you have enough cash value there to pay for the policy, they'll take it from there.
That's another point too, when you're selling these policies.
Mhm.
Like especially if somebody's young in their 30s and 40s and they really have no desire to use the cash value, they're only gonna pay the premium till a certain time in their life. Because let's say at 80 years old, they'll have so much cash value that they could stop making premium payments and they could call the carrier and say, hey,
Just take it from there.
if you use my cash value, how long is that gonna take me to?
Mhm.
And you can break it down. So there's a lot of benefits. I don't know why, but I'm getting like my mind is going blank right now. I don't know if it's because I don't know what it is, but if you have any questions, just talk to Carlos or myself about it.
Go ahead.
Underwriting question. That product.
Which one? The
Mutual
IUL?
home health,
Okay.
Diabetic. What is their statistic?
If they've been a diabetic since under 50, out, done. Decline.
Then Smart UL would be a good choice, I think.
Yeah, or even, Global Atlantic or HMS, but anything under 50 years old is a decline.
Mhm. Any questions on IULs?
Come on, somebody.
Don't be
decide.
afraid of the IULs. It's just another product, man. Just another product. It's nothing weird on the application, nothing crazy. You do have to provide an illustration and submit it with the application as well.
That's only if you do the IULE, right? Do you need one for GULE? An illustration?
The guaranteed, I think you may need it too, because there is a little cash value attached to it. I'm sure you do. But on the illustration, on the Express, yes. Definitely.
Any questions? Anybody online? Anybody here? Go ahead.
So when you're speaking with a possible client, right, it's best for you to have the underwriting sheet with the various, like, I guess, medical conditions that a person might have in front of you, right?
Correct. I mean, you'll know.
Well, rephrase that, because a lot of people don't know. Like, I know this guy right here,
Yeah.
like Steven.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when he first started going out, he was calling me 7 times a day with like all these crazy questions. But I say this to everybody. I know I'm live, but so what? When you're in the bathroom, you're doing your thing, take applications with you. Every application is different. You know, MU is different than HMS. They're different. So just know what the comparisons are.
Before you go.
Yeah, just know that, like Royal Neighbors, they're good with diabetics. They're good with Plavix. They're
Correct.
good with COPD without any medications in the last 2 years. So just know the differences between that, and it's easy to pick up. You know, there's only 5, 6 carriers that you're really going to have in your pocket.
Correct.
You know, I mean, we're exposed to a lot more, but I just know the differences between diabetic, below 50 for Mutual of Omaha, no. You know, below 35 with HMS, no. You know, Royal Neighbors, just know the differences. But you should have the cheat sheets.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
I have that.
Like on the final expense, if somebody has a pacemaker, you know where to go, like Prosperity or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, same thing with the term side, with the mortgage insurance, you know, the bigger policies. Just know the differences between John Hancock's Act, mutuals, HMS, Global Atlantic, whoever you're using, whoever you're writing with.
Something I wanted to touch on. If you if you see a baby, right, and the baby's crawling because he's brand new baby, and then you see that baby a year later and still doing the same thing, crawling, and your first intuition is to be like, there's something wrong with that baby, right?
Right.
Same thing with agents, man. Like, I get it that we're not gonna know everything. It's impossible. You're not gonna know everything, and it's okay to call all the agents for help. It's okay, perfectly okay. But we have to start getting familiarized with the carriers, man. If we're gonna use them, time and time, man. I mean, there are some people that they want you to spoon feed them, and they just calling you like, endless. Like, man, like, for real, like, we've been doing this for a year, like, you know what I mean? Like, start getting familiarized. Like, you're new and you need to call me 1,000 times. I get it.
You know what we're gonna do next week? We're actually gonna do like an underwriting quiz to everybody here.
Okay.
Like, just
Can I break my cheat sheet?
Let's do it. So you know what I mean? Like, so my point is, I get it if you are new or you are not new, you're new with the company, whatever the case may be, you calling me 20,000, but a year later, you're still doing that, there's something wrong. Now, there's something wrong with that baby.
absolutely.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Go ahead, man. Go
So
ahead.
for some reason, through this instant internet leads, I've been dealing with a lot of people that have congestive heart failure. Now, I know that, Mutual of Omaha takes them, like the graded part, and when we do graded with them, the commission is really good. But besides that, we don't have anything else, Now, have you guys ever tried Prosperity?
I heard it's good. I never roll with Prosperity, to be honest with you. What I heard nothing but good
So
things
they
about it.
take congestive heart failure or no?
Congestive heart failure.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know.
I failed that quiz.
If it's after
Yeah.
40, if they were diagnosed after 45, Transamerica will take them. I've had a couple of clients, congestive heart failure over the age of 45, standard.
Anything else before we log off from here? Any other questions? Any other questions, you guys? Anything? You have any question?
No, not right now.
I'm good.
There's anything you want to touch on?
No, it's great.
Anything else? Well, guys, thank you for being here with us. Let me see. What's the age? Okay. What's the age limit? This is for you, John. What's the age limit for the IULE without easy solve? Because you mentioned earlier that.
Yeah,
you're 67.
it's hard to determine because every age is different and every cash value is different. Just always check off the easy solve because you don't want that policy blowing up on them. If you notice, I know this was happening to me a few years ago. A lot of the old timers, a lot of the 60, 70-year-old people who bought policies back in the Reagan era. In the late 70s, early 80s, interest rates were like at 20% in this country. Therefore, those insurance policies were collecting a lot of interest. Now, 40 years later, with no interest rates in this country, a lot of those policies, as we say, were getting blown up, which means that they lost all their cash value because the interest rates dropped so much that they were getting, like in the stock market, we say margin calls. Like when you buy a stock on margin, you're borrowing like 50% from the bank to pay for that stock. They were getting calls saying, hey, you got to come in with more premium. Instead of it being $200, now you got to pay $400 a month because you have no cash value in there. you don't want to have that problem. Just keep it very simple. Just tell the client you're going to build cash value. Don't use all your cash value. Just save at least 25% in there at all times, just so you don't have a problem with it going up. Because to be honest with you guys, I confuse myself sometimes when I try to sit there and talk to a client who asks us so many questions about it. I'm like, oh crap. Like, no. I'll answer it, but I sometimes get them confused. But to answer your question, just it depends on what their age is. Because if somebody's at 30 years old, their cash value is going to be different at age 50 as opposed to somebody who's 50. Their cash value is going to be different at 70 because the premium is different. So with the annual premium going in and the interest coming in, it varies. So there's no answer to that question as far as like what age works and doesn't. I only used age 70 as an example because on the illustration it says age 70, non-guaranteed, guaranteed. That's the only reason why I use that.
What is the difference between GULE and IULE Advantage?
GUL, who asked that?
Stephen.
Go figure. Guaranteed UL is guaranteed to the age of 90, 100, 105, 120. Indexed gets their interest from the stock market, so it could vary. Guaranteed means that you don't build any cash value in there, very little. When I say very little, Steve, it's like $1,000 over 20, 30 years, like, because you're not buying that for the cash value. So a guaranteed UL is you're guaranteeing somebody for those rates to never go up, premiums never go up, just whole life policy. Where the indexed universal life, it can fluctuate, but as long as the cash value is always in there, you'll be good. Another question came up.
No more
We're good?
questions. Yeah, we're good. Well, guys, thank you for being with us here. See you next Monday, and God bless. Okay?
Peace.